You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Mystery as Trump announces primetime address to nation, based on an article by Nicole Charty-Charmy. Trump's speech to the nation is not mystery.
It's manufactured.
The event is the power. The only concrete fact in the reporting is that Donald Trump announced, on Truth Social, that he will deliver a speech to the nation on Thursday night. The rest is forward on purpose. That forward is the point. Trump controls the platform, the timing, the framing, and if the report is accurate, the material he plans to weaponize. He is not reacting to the news cycle. He is trying to become the news cycle. Declassification as theater. The headline says this speech may revive the 2020 conspiracy with declassified intel. That phrasing matters. Declassification is being treated not as governance, but as performance art for grievance politics. The goal is not clarity. It is to drape a stale lie in the authority of state secrets and then call that evidence. When a president uses the language of intelligence to repackage an election conspiracy, he is not informing the public. He is laundering paranoia through institutional vocabulary. The article lets him hide in plain sight. The reporting itself is already doing a small amount of Trump's work for him. It emphasizes that the topic is unclear, as if uncertainty is the story rather than the strategy. It is not unclear who is making the move. Trump made it. It is not unclear who benefits from the ambiguity. Trump does. The article's framing risks turning an intentional act of political manipulation into a suspense teaser. That is how authoritarian messaging gets normalized. The stunt is treated as intrigue instead of an abuse of public attention. What this reveals about his politics. This is the recurring Trump pattern in plain clothes. He takes an institutional act, wraps it in personal spectacle, and uses it to keep a lie a lie. The lie here is the 2020 election myth, which survives not because it is persuasive, but because it is useful. It gives him a permanent emergency, a permanent enemy, and a permanent excuse to delegitimize outcomes he does not control. The speech to the nation framing is especially revealing. He speaks as if he were above ordinary political contestation, while using that status to poison ordinary democratic legitimacy. The real audience. The target is not the country in any meaningful civic sense. The target is his base, the media economy that must cover him, and the institutions he wants to bully into orbit. He does not need everyone to believe the conspiracy. He needs enough people to treat it as a live question, so the lie keeps circulating. That is the mechanism, not persuasion, but contamination. The system behind the stunt. This story is not about a scheduled address. It is about how a modern authoritarian project uses the trappings of state power to keep personal mythology afloat. Trump turns the presidency into a podium, intelligence into gossip, and public truth into a fight for attention. That is not confusion. It is governing by distortion. The democratic response is not to flatter the performance with breathless uncertainty, but to name the operation for what it is, a deliberate attempt to convert institutional authority into propaganda. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article. With the automated voice of Riza, thanks for listening.